My humble salutations to everyone. My name is Deepan, son of Ganesan. Today I would like to explain about the introduction part of ethics as a philosophical issue. Ethics, also called moral philosophy, the discipline concerned with what is morally good and bad and morally right and wrong. The term is also applied to any system or theory of moral values or principles. Its subject consists of the fundamental issues of practical decision making, and its major concerns include the nature of ultimate value and the standards by which human action can be judged right or wrong. The terms ethics and morality are closely related. It is now common to refer to ethical judgments or to ethical principles, where it once would have been more accurate to speak of more moral judgments or moral principles. These applications are an extension of the meaning of ethics. In earlier usage, the term referred not to morality itself but to the field of study or branch of inquiry that as morality as it become subject matter. In this sense, ethics is equivalent to moral philosophy. Although ethics has always been viewed as a branch of philosophy, its all-embracing practical nature links it with many other areas of study, including anthropology, biology, economics, history, politics, sociology, and theology. Yet, ethics remains distinct from such disciplines because it is not a matter of factual knowledge in the way that the sciences and other branches of inquiry are. Rather, it has to do with determining the nature of normative theories and applying these sets of principles to practical moral problems. Next, I would like to explain about background of ethics as a philosophical issue. Problems of divine origin. A modern theist might say that since God is good, God could not possibly approve of torturing children nor disapprove of helping neighbors. In saying this, however, the theist would have tacitly admitted that there is a standard of goodness that is independent of God. Without an independent standard, it would be pointless to say that God is good. This could mean only that God is approved of by God. It seems therefore that even for those who believe in the existence of God, it is impossible to give a satisfactory account of the origin of morality in terms of divine creation. A different account is needed. There are other possible connections between religion and morality. It has been said that even if standards of good and evil exist independently, non-human behavior, because for obvious reasons there is no historical record of a human society in the period before it had any standards of right and wrong. History cannot reveal the origins of morality, nor is anthropology of any help, because all the human societies that have been studied so far had their own forms of morality, except perhaps in the most extreme circumstances. Fortunately, another mode of inquiry is available, because living in social groups is a characteristic that humans share with many other animal species, including their closest relatives, the apes, presumably the common ancestors of humans, and apes also lived in social groups. Here, than in the social behavior of non-human animals and in the theory of evolution. Problem statement of ethics as a philosophical issue. Ethics deals with such questions at all levels. Its subject consists of the fundamental issues of practical decision making, and its major concerns include the nature of ultimate value and the standards by which human actions can be judged right or wrong. Philosophical problems arise when we try to form an overall understanding of the world and our situation in it. This can be done in one of two ways. The first treats the condition of our lives as one set of facts among countless others, and understanding those conditions helps us to improve our lives. Some of the major problems of philosophy are as follows. Our common sense takes the physical world as consisting of various kinds of things which are supposed to possess qualities and related to one and another in different ways.
Assalamualaikum and selamat sejahtera. Thank you for the previous presenter. Let me introduce myself first. Okay, my name is Ameer bin Samsul Bahlin. My metric number is B0520100027. I am from Fakulti Kejuruteraan Pembuatan and I am from Bmfi program. Okay, today I would like to share about the objective of this research. Okay, the first objective is to state the definition of anthropocentrism and Eurocentrism. Yes, this is because there are many definitions on the internet or in the world. So we are trying to get the most suitable definition that fits all the people on the world. The second one is to state the background or origin for anthropocentrism and Eurocentrism. Okay, as we all know, the both concept has spread all over the world. But with this research, we managed to identify the originality or origin or the pioneer for the concept. So the third one is to determine the problem statement from the research. Okay, although the both concept has been accepted by the entire world, but there are some people that oppose this concept. So we are trying to know why there are people that not agree with both of this concept. Okay, the fourth one is to describe the effect of anthropocentrism and Eurocentrism. This is because both concepts has affect the world very drastically. So we are going to get to collect the most negative or positive effect that are being spread on the world. So the last one is to discuss the improvement that can be implemented. So as we all know, this concept has been ages, and so they are being through many phases on the world. So we should get an improvement for this concept because it will reduce the problems to the world and can give benefits to the human beings. So for the methodology part, we do some research on the internet, on the websites that are showing the best result for anthropocentrism and Eurocentrism. We also do some research on books that shows about ethics of the world and the concept of the world. Next, there are also some research in interview from people all around us, such as our family and our friends. So with this, we gain our knowledge and point for this research. Okay, next, I would like to talk about anthropocentrism. Anthropocentrism states that human is the center of everything in the world. So it is considered that human is the most important living things on the planet. So it will allow humans to do anything on the resources of the world, such as animals, such as plant, to benefit themselves. So it will causes the world to being damaged and destroyed by human hands. That's why anthropocentrism is opposed by the concept of theocentrism. That state God is the center or the measure of everything. So if human continue to use anthropocentrism, the world will continue to be damaged and broken down, and will become, and the world will be suffer from the hands of human itself. Okay, the second one is Eurocentrism. Okay, what is Eurocentrism? Eurocentrism is a tendency to interpret history or culture of non-Europe's country from a point of view of Europe's country. It states that non-Europe's country is backward, poor and uncivilized. It is also stated that only Europe's country can lead the non-Europe's country to modernization and civilization. So with that, the Europe's countries start to invade the non-Europe country in the name of modernization, but they also has other agenda, which is to spread their religion and their propaganda. So with that, the Europe country are not negating the right of non-Europe country. They are being superior and oppress the non-Europe country by making their slaves.
Hello everyone, my name is Cheok. I will be talking about today's subject, egoism dalam Etika Isu Falsafah. So what the methodology of this one is two main type of egoism, which is ethical egoism and physiological egoism. Ethical egoism belong to the normative theory about how mean to be. It means that to act out in a way achieve their own best interests. On the other hand, physiological egoism, it is described as how things are. So next is the ethical egoism consists of two types of base version, which is individual ethnic egoism and universal ethnic egoism. First is individual, is to look out for their own best interest. It can also mean that to be concerned about only other if they can contribute for one own interest, which means for themselves. And the universal ethical egoism mean that everyone is included in somewhat out of their own best interest, and they can only concern about other to an extent that contribute to their own interests. Next is the meaning of egoism. Egoism means that as a form of consequences, because it's asked to weigh out what would action would be good for their self-interest, should not sacrifice one's own interest to help other interests. But any egoism moral agent is different because it makes its moral agent to harm the interest of well-being of other while making moral consideration. And what it means is for one of the agent, self-interest may accidentally detrimental something or beneficial on other, or maybe create a neutral position in effect on the other. But it doesn't mean that ethical egoism is necessary to tell a people that pursuing self-interest one must stay to what to want to do. As the James Charles said, he said that ethnic egoism endorses selfishness, but it doesn't endorse foolishness. Next is the subject of philosophy cogito ergo sum, which the philosophy Rene Descartes created, as the picture below show. So what the methodology about this philosophy? First of all, we must talk about the person. He is the French philosophy who make the philosophy statement that it was made in Latin and translate to English, which means I think, therefore I am. So this become the foundation for knowledge in the face of radical doubt. So what is mean Descartes think differently because Descartes before that struggle to feel convinced by the existence of anything. So what is the meaning of cogito ergo sum? The cogito ergo sum mean that I think therefore I am. It mean that as the people always has doubt as long as we thinking during our life, which mean what is why we were born and did the God exist in this world? Well, many uncertainty and we cannot fully believe it unless we see it with our own eyes. So to give the example, they have three biggest races in Malaysia: Melayu, Chinese, and India. Melayu believe in Islam. Allah SWT has no physical form and can be referred to their book of teaching Al-Quran, which has bring by Nabi Muhammad that meditate in the cave Hira and getting the chance for meeting their God Allah. And in case of Chinese, well, the majority has some difference between it's always lead to a respected highest position God Buddha. In Buddhists, they believe in karma, which means when someone dies, they will be reborn again as someone else, depend of the karma they do. So they want to keep the rule in check so they can go to heaven. And the 5 rule is refine for taking life, refine for taking what is not given, refined for misusing the sense, refined for using the word speech, refined for intoxify the mind. As for Indian race, their religious beliefs in Hinduism, unlike Buddhism, the Hinduism has no founder instead of a fusion of various beliefs and worshipper numbers 20. For example, like Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, Devi, Krishna, and Laksamani and Saraswati. And this is the example I given, and this is for me. Thank you.
Guys, my name is Aiman. My metric number is B05202224. Regarding to the topic that been given to our group, we have been discussed, and this is the finding of the topic. Let me proceed. Anthropocentrism is belief human being is the most important entity in this universe. It regards the world in terms of human values and experience. For anthropocentrism, the truth is does not belong from God guidance. They believe the knowledge came from the intelligence, which is contrary to the human faith. Next, egoism. Egoism is the role of self or egos as motivation and goals as one's own action. Many philosophers have different theories about egoism. It has been categorized by descriptive and normative. Descriptive is variant of ego are concerned with self-regard for their own interest. Normative is thought is not about what humans do, but they think about what humans should do. After that, Eurocentrism is world is centered on Western civilization or biased view that favor over Western civilization. Eurocentrism is created by Egyptian philosopher named Samir Amin since 1970s, but it not prevalent until 1990s because of the context, decolonization and development, also humanitarian aid that industrialized countries offer to development countries. Last but not least, cogito ergo sum, meaning I think therefore I am. This phrase means before we believe we exist, we must think first. Later, this phrase expanded by Anton Leonard Thomas. Dubito ergo cogito ergo sum. I doubt, therefore I think, therefore I exist. Which means before we go through experience in this real life, first thing alive is our mind. And for mind to be alive, we must doubt. Only then we start to question ourselves to find the truth. From doubt we question, from question we think. In conclusion, anthropocentrism is opposite to most religions in this world. For Muslim, our God is centered of this universe, and we believe that our God will create us into this world. Same goes to the Christian. They also have their own God in the center of life. Next, egoism could turn person become greedy because they just think about their interest. After that, Eurocentrism could turn people being racist. It can be seen until this day, the racism still goes on. Last but not least, we can only reason from the existence, not toward existence. That's all for me. Thank you.